There's definitely some jockeying for positioning happening. Oh,
Hello, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva. This is Geneva in General. Guys, I just watched the game. Okay, the Indiana Fever just defeated the Connecticut Sun in a pretty close game for the majority of this game until the fourth quarter. Again, the Connecticut Sun was just playing sloppily. Okay, them turnovers were ridiculous. But speaking of turnovers, now how Caitlin Clark gonna start the game off with the turnover? Caitlin, the word on the crowd, the streets is calling you turnover Tammy, okay? You got to get it together. In this game alone, she got 5+ turnovers just as one single player. Again, Caitlin Clark has got to do better at not being sloppy with the basketball. This game concluded, okay, with the Indiana Fever being on top. They won with 85 points, whereas the Connecticut Sun had 77 points. So in the first quarter, okay, the Connecticut Sun showed some promise. Okay, they wowed me because again, guys, remember in the beginning of this current season, like a month and some change ago, the Connecticut Sun whooped the Indiana Fever at their home court. It was crazy. Okay, and I think maybe Caitlin Clark was not in that game, but still, that's no excuse. In this current 2025 WNBA season, Chicago Sky, unfortunately, my Sky, the Dallas Wings, and the Connecticut Sun are all competing. Okay, to be bottom tier teams. It's excruciating. Again, Connecticut Sun was my second favorite team last season because they had Dejanay Carrington, Dewana Bonner, Alyssa Thomas. You know, they had that core four. They had the girls. They had Veronica Burton, Brianna Jones, Ty Harris, Olivia Nelson-Ododa, which they still have. But they don't have, the rest of the missing pieces. Okay, that 6+ women who have now left the team. Marina Mabry is now on it, to her dismay. Okay, let's be real. But she seemed like she's trying to, she's coping with it. Okay, she's coping with the fact that she is stuck on a bottom tier team with this French head coach. Okay, Rachid Mizian. Okay, a lot of people don't seem like to really gel well with him, in my opinion, in my observations. They got the new freshmen, well, not the freshmen, rather the rookies. So that's just Anissa Morrow, straight from LSU. Sanaya Rivers. I keep wanting to call this girl Sanaya Fagan. There's so many Sanayas in women's basketball. But speaking of Sanaya Rivers, okay. I might do a video on this later, but word on the curve, okay, it's some tea going on. They seem like her and Marina Mabry, they've been getting very close. They've been getting very cozy together, okay? Just the other day on Marina Mabry's live, she was spilling some tea about the WNBA couples, okay, that be going on in the W, and Sanaya Rivers was shocked, okay? She was so innocent. She was like, what? They seemed like she was talking about Georgia A. Moore with Liz Kitley, and it was some tea being spilled. But in the first quarter, again, the Fever scored 29 points. Connecticut Sun scored 28 points. The second quarter comes around. Fever scored 15 points. The Connecticut Sun, again, they just trailed by just 1 point. They scored 14. Now, the third quarter, they both scored equally. They both scored 18 points. But in the fourth and final quarter, guys, the Indiana Fever scored 23 points. The Connecticut Sun scored only 17 points due to those sloppy turnovers. They just could not keep the ball in their hands. Mainly, I'll say Sanaya Fagan. See, there I go. Sanaya Rivers, rather. She was doing okay, but she was blowing layups, like missing layups, like open wide layups. They had so many good looks, so many opportunities to score, but they shots were not falling. Olivia Nelson-Ododa was getting the ball stolen from her, knocked out of her hands, making bad passes. Bria Hartley tried her best. Who else? Even Tina Charles was giving sloppy turnovers. Again, the Connecticut Sun, I'm not a fan of their coach, and I think we need to have an honest conversation about the Connecticut Sun. So let's talk about the individual player statistics for the Indiana Fever. Natasha Howard had 18 points, 0 assists, 12 rebounds. Lexi Hall had 5 points, 2 assists, 0 rebounds. Leah Boston had 11 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell had 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Caitlin Clark had 14 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. Sophie Cunningham had 11 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Damaris Dantas had 3 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Arian McDonald had 2 points, 3 assists, and 0 rebounds. Now for the Connecticut Sun, Tina Charles was the leading scorer with 21 points. She had 3 assists, 11 rebounds. Sanaya Rivers had 8 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Olivia Nelson-Ododa had 6 points, 1 assist, 5 rebounds. Bria Hartley had 11 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. JC Sheldon only had 1 point, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. Layla Lakan, she had 19 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Anissa Morrow, she's getting more minutes. Okay, the rookie, she had 4 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. That was just a quick little game overview, okay, just breaking down. I want this video to be more so about the Connecticut Sun. Like, I was going to do a separate video on this, but I feel like, we're in the mid-season of this current 2025 WNBA season. It's going by like that. Okay, I still have yet to get to a game. I know, shame on me. It's coming soon. I think I want to go to Vegas first. I don't care who the Vegas Aces play. Hopefully, mainly my Chicago Sky, obviously, but yeah, by next month, I gotta buy a ticket and fly out there soon. I'm gonna go to Vegas, Phoenix, and New York. Dallas, the traffic is just way too bad for me. But the Connecticut Sun, even though they were competitive in this game, again, I was shocked. They shocked me that they were actually able to keep up with the Indiana Fever for so long, even with Caitlin Clark on the floor. But the fact that they under this man again, like, guys, comment down below right now your thoughts in the chat in the comments. What is your opinions on the head coach being Rashid Mizian? Like, are you impressed with him? What do you know about him? Because again, it's like there's something about these. I don't want to say like it's a male issue, but like if you look at the WNBA, let's be real. I'm not trying to attribute it to him being male, but it's like a stark contrast. I can't help but notice that like the top tier teams in the WNBA seem to be headed by women. Okay, head coaches. Look at Cheryl Reeves, the Minnesota Lynx. What's the girl? Sandy Brundello of the New York Liberty. Seattle Storm. You got Coach Noelle Quinn. Indiana Fever, Stephanie White, etc., etc. The bottom, I'm sorry to say it, but the bottom three teams, my Chicago Sky is headed by Mel, Tyler Marsh, Connecticut Sun, Rashid Mizian, and Dallas Wings, Chris Koklanis. When are we going to have a real conversation about these head coaches just sucking? Again, I'm not trying to attribute it to him being male, but that's just like a stark contrast. That's all I can go off of. But it just so saddens me how I used to be such a fan of the Connecticut Sun, and they program underneath Stephanie White. They had all the girls. They had all the girls last season. And to see this team just crumble the way that it has. Again, Marina Mabry is out. She's been out for some weeks. I think she still has some weeks to go due to an injury of sorts. But even whether Marina Mabry is on the court or not, we need to be honest about the Connecticut Sun. It's like they're not even being competitive, okay? Overall as a team in this current season. And if I was Kathy Engelbert or the commissioners of the power to be that in the WNBA, I would have to sit them down and have a very serious conversation with the GM, the head coach, the coaching staff, the assistants, the players. Like, look, y'all need to figure out what the problem is, because this is just unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable for y'all literally giving women's basketball a bad name and a bad look. Okay, do y'all want to generate this money or not? Because like the way that y'all be acting in this season, it's just ridiculous. I've had enough. Again, I used to be such a fan of this team, and like I can't even root for them no more. Even though I still like Marina Mabry, I'm a fan of Sanaya Rivers, I'm a fan of Anissa Morrow, etc., Tina Charles, but it's like, as a whole, as a collective, I cannot root for Connecticut Sun because they are just that trash. Guys, comment down below your thoughts on tonight's game, the Indiana Fever beating the Connecticut Sun, and also, guys, please let me know your thoughts and opinions on the current coach of the Connecticut Sun, Rashid Mizian, and like just the state of the Connecticut Sun. Again, I've been saying this since last year. Sell the Connecticut Sun. A lot of people are trying to make Connecticut to be the headquarters of women's basketball. I understand that because they have UConn, UConn, and also obviously they have the Connecticut Sun. But I don't want to hear it. Sell. I've been saying this for a year now. Sell the Connecticut Sun, move them to Boston, Massachusetts, and have them become the Boston Clovers or the Boston Charms. But again, Connecticut Sun, to me, it's just no more. The Sun has imploded.